Hello students, welcome to Targeties. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and in this video we are going to start a very fresh subject which is hydraulic machinery. It is generally considered as subpart of fluid mechanics, but you don't have to know concepts of fluid mechanics to understand hydraulic machinery. Completely different concepts, completely different formulas. Even if you know basic terms like density, what is pressure, what is specific gravity, more than enough, you can easily understand hydraulic machinery without much difficulty. So this hydraulic machinery modules, whatever I am making, it is exclusively for your ESC, State PSC, RRB and SSC JEs. Forget these topics are not present in your syllabus. Even then, I recommend you to watch this video so that whenever you are writing your ESC exam or State PSC exams, these concepts will be very helpful to you and straightforward questions are there. Once you watch this module, you can directly tick the answer. Itna simple rahega. Okay. So let us start hydraulic machinery. Let us first try to define what is hydraulic machine. पहले डिफाइन करेंगे मशीन को. Okay, so what is machine? This is a very common question and a famous question in India because same question पूछा जाता है थ्री इडियट्स में. थ्री इडियट्स मूवी तो देखा होगा. So in Three Idiots, what does Amir Khan say? How does he define machine? He gives an example of a zip, right? पैंट की जिप के एग्जाम्पल देते हैं, अप डाउन. याद आ गया? So is a pant zip is also a machine? Yes, it is a machine. So what is a machine? Let us try to understand. Machine is a device which has a moving part. Okay, if any device has a moving part, we generally call it as a machine, but simple language में. ठीक है? So obviously when you are talking about zip, it can move up down, right? तो वो भी एक machine है simple language में. Agreed? But when I am talking about hydraulic machine, so what does this hydraulic say? आप तो जानते ही है, when I am talking about hydraulic, that means I am talking about water, right? किसी बच्चे को पूछोगे what is hydraulic, he will say, sir, it is related to water, it is study of water, like that he will say. But you should not say like that. You have to be more precise. Whenever I am taking the term hydraulic, it means I am talking about liquid, not just water. It can be oil also. It can be oil also. So when I am talking about hydraulic, to be precise, it is I am talking about what? I am talking about liquid. But most common liquid where we use this hydraulics, obviously that is water, right? Every day we drink a lot of water. We need water for almost all activities we do. So obviously we are talking about water when I am talking about hydraulic machines from now on. Okay. So there are basically two important categories of hydraulic machines. Okay. So one is energy producing hydraulic machines. Another one is energy consuming hydraulic machines. Okay. So how to define this hydraulic machines? First of all, it is a device which has some moving parts and it has to do something with water, or to be specific, any fluid. So what does this hydraulic machinery do? There are two things which it can do. One, it can convert the fluid power to electric power, or it can use electric power. These hydraulic machines, they can use electric power and convert it into fluid power. Let me remind you of a very important quote of physics which you have studied repeated times in your school, that is, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, right? Energy जो है, you cannot create it and you cannot destroy it. Only you can change the form from one form to the another. Agreed? याद आ गया? So energy you cannot create nor destroy, you can just transform it from one form to other form. So same concept here we are doing in hydraulic machines. What we are doing? We are converting the whatever energy this water has into electric energy, or we are using this electric energy and converting into some fluid energy. Okay, so in entire hydraulic machinery we will be studying terms related to these two type of category only. Okay, और भी हाइड्रोलिक मशीन्स है, बट हमारे सिलेबस में ये दो ही आते हैं. वन इज एनर्जी प्रोड्यूसिंग, वन इज एनर्जी कंज्यूमिंग. लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड सम बेसिक एग्जांपल्स ऑफ हाइड्रोलिक मशीन्स व्हिच वी यूज इन आवर एवरीडे लाइफ. सो फर्स्ट एग्जांपल, लेट अस स्टार्ट विद दिस. ये जो फिगर दिख रहा है आपको, व्हाट इज दिस फिगर? एवरीवन नोस इट, राइट? इट इज इलेक्ट्रिक पंप और हाइड्रोलिक पंप. So what it does, it is an energy producing device or energy consuming device? It is energy consuming device. It takes electricity. Once you give electricity to this pump, what it does, ये जो electricity को वो क्या करता है, it converts into fluid energy, right? It converts into fluid power. This electric power, whatever you are giving, it is converted to fluid power. And whatever the water which is at low level, let us say this is the water. So you are using this pump and now this water को क्या कर रहा है, वो power दे रहा है. So this water can flow to a higher level. I hope it is very clear, right? So what you are doing, whenever you are pumping this water, it goes from lower level to higher level. So this is an energy consuming device and it is converting your electric power to fluid power. Concept is clear, right? Without electric pump, can you imagine the modern day life? Is it possible? Just imagine in Hyderabad, where are you? We are now going for 10 floors, 20 floors. Okay, apartment are 20-30 floor ke. Oh, in Mumbai you already have that. Without electric pump, is it possible? Just imagine daily you wake up in a multi-story building and you are carrying buckets to the ground floor to take the water and back home. Is it practical? No. Modern civilization literally cannot exist without electric pump. काफी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज हो गई है हमारी डे टू डे लाइफ में, राइट? एंड सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल ऑफ हाइड्रोलिक मशीन्स आई वुड लाइक टू गिव हियर इज टर्बाइन. एक सेकेंड, लेट मी जस्ट scroll this. Here are turbine. Okay, so we'll be studying different types of turbine. Okay, next chapter is turbines. In turbines I will teach you what are the different types of turbines, how this turbine works and what are the formulas related to it. ठीक है, सो टर्बाइन के बारे में बाद में देखेंगे, इन डिटेल देखेंगे पार्ट्स, व्हाट आर द पार्ट्स एंड वॉट एवर आर देयर, वी विल सी इन डिटेल. सो जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस इज we'll be having first of all let me explain you in simple language how the dam is constructed, what is reservoir, so that it will help you in future classes. So first of all let us say in nature we have a lot of mountains, agreed or not, mountains, hilly areas. Okay, so in between two hills there will be a valley, right? जो depression है, that is the valley, right? So generally what happens, let us say in between this hill 1 and hill 2, okay, there is a stream of water flowing. What is flowing? A stream of water is flowing. Okay, so if you are obstructing the flow of this stream, okay, using one massive structure, क्या कर रहे हो आप, just एक दीवार बन रहे हो, you are just constructing a wall in between these two hills. Now what will happen? This water which was earlier flowing, now it cannot flow, right? वो आके यहाँ पे obstruct हो जाएगा. As something is obstructing and it cannot move forward, so obviously it will start to pile up, agreed or not? So the level of water increases behind this wall. This wall I am calling it as dam. Okay, this structure what is obstructing the flow I am calling it as dam, and behind the dam what is happening, there is a big pool of water now, because water can't go forward. A side में hill है, A side में hill है, right? It cannot go that side because there is obstruction on all the sides. So what happens? So it gets stagnated and the level keeps on increasing. So this increased level, whatever the storage is there, I am calling it as reservoir. Okay, so there are different types of ways in which you can generate electricity, right? There is thermal electricity, right? There is nuclear electricity, but one of the most common ways which you know is this hydraulic electricity, right? We have this hydroelectric power plants in almost all states of India. You might have visited or at least movies में देखे होंगे और TV पे serials में देखे होंगे ना. So here what happens is the water from this reservoir is taken to the turbine. So what is happening, as you are obstructing, the water level increases here. Okay, we have a lot of water head यानी lot of potential energy is there in this water, right? Because the head is launched. So what is happening, you are converting this, whenever you are creating a small opening with a huge velocity, this water starts to come into this pipe, agreed or not? ये पाइप सीधा जाता है कहाँ पे, टर्बाइंस पे. Okay, so this whatever flow is there, it is passing through turbine. So what happens, turbines rotate. Okay, turbines rotate. This turbine has a shaft attached to it. तो क्या हो रहा है, shaft घूम रहा है. This shaft is coupled with an electric generator. So as the shaft is rotating, you are producing electricity. That electricity is sent to your houses. Concept is clear, right? So what is happening? previous case we have seen a pump which is energy consuming device. It consumes electricity. And now I am talking about turbine. What is it doing? It is producing electricity, right? Producing electricity. So energy producing hydraulic machine. ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल समझ में आ गया? पंप एंड टर्बाइन का कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है? विल स्टडी दिस इन डिटेल बच्चों, ये पूरा हाइड्रोलिक मशीनरी इसके ही तरफ घूमता है. वी स्टडी टर्बाइंस, वी स्टडी डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पंप्स एंड व्हाट आर द एप्लीकेशंस, एंड ऑफ स्टोरी. ठीक है, सो बिफोर गोइंग इनटू दैट, one important aspect is impact of jet. Impact of jet, before studying turbines you should know with what force the water comes. Okay, because obviously the speed with which the shaft is rotating, the turbine का जो भी shaft है rotate करेगा, it depends on how much fast the water is, with how much force the water is hitting its vanes. Okay, so obviously you have to study with what force the water is coming. That's why we are going to study impact of jets as our first chapter. Once you understand impact of jets, turbines is a laddu concept, आप आसानी से grasp कर लोगे, and then we'll study pumps and end of story. 8 to 9 modules are more than enough, and we'll be covering entire hydraulic machinery. Okay, so what are hydraulic machines? Can you define now? Hydraulic machines are the devices with moving parts, okay, which has something to do with liquid. What it does? It can convert the fluid power to electric power, or it can use electric power and convert it into fluid power. Both examples you know, right? Fluid power to electric power कौन सा convert करता है? Turbine. And electric power use करके fluid power में कौन सा convert कर रहा है? Electric pump or hydraulic pump, whatever you want. Okay, turbine and pump concept clear है? So what are the generally moving parts in your turbine? Runner, rotating shaft, guide vanes, etc. What are these? We will learn in detail what are the different types of guide vanes are there. Okay, everything we will be studying in turbines topic, no need to worry. But so far whatever I'm teaching you are able to understand, right? If you have some doubt, ask in comment box, I will clear your doubts. Okay, और हमारा WhatsApp group रहता है ना, पूछो, instant से clear करेंगे. So now you are very clear about these terms, right? These two terms, give it 5 star. लिख लो अपने notes में, highlight कर लेना, because this bit can come directly in exam. So what is the device which convert fluid power to shaft power? Okay, water turbine. Shaft power से fluid power कौन सा convert करता है? Pump convert करता है. In detail we will study when the topic comes. Okay, and many people mistook this fluid this whatever hydraulic machinery जो भी है ना, as turbo machinery. There is one more concept called as turbo machinery. Generally in civil engineering we won't read it. In mechanical engineering we have this turbo machinery. Okay, so whenever someone calls hydraulic machinery and turbo machinery one and the same, they are making a mistake, because whenever I am talking about turbo machinery, all the type of substances come into play. It could be because of the gases or it could be because of fluids. For example हो गया windmill, right? Because of the air we have these motors rotating and electricity is being generated. Similarly, we have water turbines, steam turbines, gas turbines. All this comes under turbo machinery. But हमारा कौन सा syllabus में? Hydraulic machinery. तो हम पढ़ेंगे कौन सा? Only which is related to water. So only this thing we are going to study in our topics. I hope it is very clear, right? So fluid mechanics is not our whatever this hydraulic machinery is there, that is not turbo machinery, but it is sub part of turbo machinery. I hope it is very clear, right? So always remember, our hydraulic machinery is a sub part of turbo machinery. Done? Clear? याद रखोगे? And there is one more important bit which was asked in many examinations for 1 mark state PSCs में. So which of the following examples और example of power consuming fluid? Turbine रहेगा, different types of turbine के नाम दे देंगे, एक pump का नाम दे देगा. Obviously what you have to take, what is power consuming device? It is electric pump, right? So electric pump आप tick करोगे. So in our syllabus we have only two type of devices, energy producing, energy consuming. But in actuality there are more than this. There is also transmission devices or transmission machines. Okay, transmission machines which can transfer this energy from one point to another point. Okay, so what are they? For example हो गया hydraulic coupling. Okay, one shaft which is rotating can transfer its power to another shaft. Okay, and another shaft will also start to rotate because of this hydraulic coupling. But दिस इज नॉट इन आवर सिलेबस. ओके, हमारे सिलेबस में दो ही पार्ट है, इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोड्यूसिंग और इलेक्ट्रिक कंज्यूमिंग हाइड्रोलिक मशीन्स. तो हम वही पढ़ेंगे, जो नहीं है वो क्यों पढ़ेंगे. बट इफ समवन आस्क्स यू, यू शुड बी एबल टू correlate your knowledge. There is one more type of machinery which is called as hydraulic coupling or transmission devices or transmission machines. Okay, there is one more machine of importance which is hydraulic ram. Okay, hydraulic ram डिटेल से पढ़ाई करेंगे, but I will give you a rough idea what is hydraulic ram. In state PSCs for 1 mark I have seen these questions, but this is not in syllabus. But as I have seen, I am giving you a slight insight what is happening. See, in fluid mechanics we have studied one concept which is hydraulic lift. Hydraulic lift, yaad hai what is hydraulic lift? See, let us say there are two water columns. Okay, so obviously this P1 will be equals to P2, agreed or not? Pressure at the same level. So let us say this is small a and whatever this area is there, that is capital A. कौन सा ज्यादा है, small a ज्यादा है कि capital A ज्यादा है? Just by seeing you can say small a has less area and capital A has bigger area from this diagram, right? So what is pressure? Pressure is force by area, right? Force by area. So let us say if there is some heavier load here, let us say the heavier load capital F is there, काफी ज्यादा heavier load. So what will be the pressure on this limb? The pressure on this limb will be capital A divided by capital F divided by capital A. Agreed or not? On this side, what is your pressure? Let us say there is a small force acting on here, let us say which is small f. So your pressure this side will be small f divided by small a. Okay, but we know the pressure should be same. So small f by small a should be equal to capital F by capital A. समझ नहीं आ रहा है concept? So let us try to understand. If you want to lift a larger weight using this hydraulic lift, even if you apply smaller load on this side, what will happen? This side will go up because the pressure on both the sides is same. So what is happening? Let us try to understand with a small example. Let us say this small area is 1 and the load acting is 100. Okay, the load acting is 100 Newton and the area is 1 meter square. So what is the pressure? 100 Newton by 1 meter square. Okay, now here whatever is there on the larger side, we don't know F. Let us try to understand what is the maximum load which can be lifted using this hydraulic lift in this condition. Okay, so let us say the area is 10 meter square. Now can you tell what is the value of F which can be lifted easily using this hydraulic lift? So area is 10, capital A is 10, so you can just cross multiply and your F is 1000. So that means if you are using some load X, almost 10x time the load can be lifted using hydraulic lift. समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना concept? But use your common sense. If this moves distance of some k, will this also move distance of k? सोचना, अगर ये जो small limb है, if it is moving by amount k, this will also go up by k? ऐसा नहीं होता है because water is incompressible. Let us try to understand. Here the volume of water in this limb, as the dimensions are small, volume is less, right? इसका volume क्या होता है? Less होता है. यहाँ पे dimension ज़्यादा है. We have a larger dimension, so volume is more. समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना? So the decrease in volume here should be equal to increase in volume on that side. Concept is clear? So if you are moving by distance k on your smaller limb side, you will be moving a little bit distance up. Okay, you can be able to lift little bit distance up in a larger limb side. I hope concept is very clear for you. समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना? So what is hydraulic lift? Using this hydraulic lift, you can lift a heavier object using a lightweight object. Okay, concept is clear? Same thing, but in hydraulic ram what is happening? Let us try to understand. In hydraulic ram, generally in olden days, you might be seeing some forts. Okay, whenever you are visiting some historical places, they would be saying in the olden days there were fountains coming up. In this palace there were some fountains, but there won't be any water source. Already it will be on some hilly area and in the forts there were some fountains. You used to hear this, right? Whenever you go to some historic site they say that उस जमाने में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं था तो पानी कहाँ से आ गया, right? So this they used to use the concept of hydraulic ram. Okay, so hydraulic ram is a very old device. Obviously it got modified over the times, but the concept was utilized from thousands of years. Okay, even these days means आजकल तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हर गांव में पहुंच चुका है, but if you go 30-40 years behind, there were villages which was not electrified. When there was no electricity, this hydraulic ram concept and hydraulic ram devices were used to lift the water from a reservoir to overhead tanks. Okay, electricity का use नहीं होता है इसमें. We just need a large quantity of water, a pond or a lake, and we can lift this water to a certain height. Small quantity of water, पूरा का पूरा नहीं उठा सकते हो. If you have a large quantity of water, some of the water can be lifted to a larger height. Okay, that is the use of hydraulic ram. How this actually works in simple language, just let us try to understand the definition. If you have a large quantity of water, so let us say this is the datum. वो भी ऊपर ही रहना चाहिए datum के, ठीक है? So somewhere below you will be having this hydraulic ram. Okay, this device hydraulic ram. What it does is, from this large quantity of water, whatever it is flowing, right, small quantity of water, it can pump to a greater height. Okay, it can pump to a greater height. Quantity क्या रहेगा? कम रहेगा, very less compared to this capital Q. Okay, if you have continuous source of supply, उसमें से थोड़ा पानी higher level पे पहुंचा सकता है this hydraulic ram. It works on a principle of water hammer. This is also a very important term, water hammer. What it is, we'll study later. ठीक है? But in simple language, what happens is the water is supplied to this hydraulic ram, and वहाँ पे क्या होता है? एक negative pressure develop होता है. There will be a piston, a negative pressure will be developed as this whatever container you have is getting filled, and it will push it. Once the pressure level is exceeded, वो क्या होता है? Piston आके उसे रैम करेगा, and because of this it will be pumped to a higher level. What it is, we'll study in detail. Okay, एक दो चैप्टर के बाद मैं आपको डिटेल से समझाऊंगा, even though it is not in syllabus. But we have this also in this is also a hydraulic machine, though it is not in our syllabus, we won't be studying much. It is also hydraulic machine. Concept तो clear है? So what does the hydraulic ram does? Small quantity of water can be pumped to a higher level from available large quantity of water which is at low level. Done? So it is a very old concept. बहुत 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 साल पहले यूज किया जाता था. Once electric pumps are there, there was no need of hydraulic ram, because using electricity with very fast rate we can pump large amount of water, right? So hydraulic ram is almost obsolete. Nowadays we don't see hydraulic rams. Okay, so let us try to understand how this hydroelectric power plant works. Okay, I have explained in the beginning of this module what is a dam and what is reservoir, right? Let us say there is a dam which is obstructing the flow, so what is happening? The reservoir water is increasing its level, agreed or not? So let us take some line, let us say this is the datum. Okay, so this is the head which the water has on my upstream side, agreed or not? So this whatever the head I have, I am calling this as head race level. Okay, इस लेवल को मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? What is this level called as head race level? Okay, obviously if this is on upstream side, what is happening? The water is being taken by a pipe, and this water whatever is there, right, if the height of this reservoir is more, if there is plenty of water, then obviously water comes with a greater speed. Common sense की बात है, you know this very well, right? If you have a greater head, okay, then the water will come with a bigger force, because it has lot of head in it, lot of energy in it. The potential energy whatever it is being converted into kinetic energy, right? So what is happening? With huge force the water comes out. If the head is less, अगर पानी का level कम है, then the water will be coming with the less force. Obvious सी बात है. I hope you got it right. So whatever it is, the water is passing through a pipe, and this water will go and hit my turbine. Okay, so after hitting, obviously it has to fall down, right, on the downstream side. So whatever it is there, the level, whatever water level is there after hitting the turbine and falling on the downstream side, this water level का जो भी level है, I am calling it as tail race level. Common sense की बात है. On the upstream, if I am calling it as head, obviously on the downstream what I will be having? I will have the tail, similar to that of toss head and tail. One side head, other side tail, right? On the upstream side head, on the bottom side we will be having tail. So head race level and then we have tail race level. So let us try to understand what is happening here, how it actually works. So whenever I am taking the water from the reservoir, see in this diagram I am showing as if the penstock is passing through the dam. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Dam is a complete concrete structure. It is obstructing the flow. It is not having this hole to take the penstock. Okay, so whatever you are seeing in the dam, the water is flowing from the top. It is it is not the hole which is having. It is actually a passage from the water. If the water level is increasing on the reservoir, there is a chance that water can topple the dam and the dam will be damaged. That's why वो dam के जो gates रहते हैं ना, it is open for different purpose to save the dam. It is not for producing electricity. Okay, electricity वैसा नहीं produce किया जाता है. It is completely different topic which you will be studying in water resource engineering. Here I am talking about a penstock. It is a pipe which is taking water from the reservoir. Okay, it passes beside the dam or कहीं से भी pass कर सकता है. Under the dam it doesn't matter, but the water is taken from the reservoir upstream side, and this whatever pipe is there which is collecting the water from the reservoir, we are calling it as penstock. Very important terminology. Give it 5 star. You should always remember the pipe which is carrying water from reservoir to my turbine is called as penstock. Okay, and we'll discuss surge tank later. जब हम डिटेल में पढ़ाई करेंगे टर्बाइंस का आपको समझ में आएगा. So what are its purpose, everything we'll study in detail, but here let us try to understand the concept first. What is happening? This pipe is carrying water to the turbine. Okay, so what will be there? There will be a nozzle. Nozzle क्या करेगा? यहाँ से जो whatever is coming from this penstock will be coming with a great force, right? Whenever I am talking about dam, it will be a lot of meters, hundreds of meters, right? It will be hundreds of feet. So obviously that much amount of water which is stored, it has a lot of energy and it will pass through this turbine. Okay, when it goes and hit this turbine with a great force, what happens? First of all, this is my shaft. एक circular shaft रहेगा which is actually coupled with electric generator, and when shaft is rotating we will be getting electricity. So this shaft is actually connected to a runner. इसे क्या कहते हैं? Runner. See, there are different types of turbines. I am just explaining you a simple Pelton turbine. इसमें क्या होता है? Shaft is connected to a runner. Runner यानी a circular disc you can say. This circular disc actually have buckets on it. Buckets, or you can also call it as vanes. What? Vanes are buckets. Okay. So what it does? Water is coming and hitting this buckets. So buckets rotate. As the buckets are rotating, my entire runner rotates and my shaft is rotating. Okay, I hope concept is clear for you. समझ नहीं आ गया concept. Okay, so this shaft, it is coupled with electric generator, and with more torque it rotates, more electricity is produced. Okay, in simple language, if the force with which water is hitting is more, then more torque is generated. Why? Torque is nothing but force into radial distance, right? Here let us say this is the force with which water is hitting and this is the radial distance of my runner. So what is happening? Force into this r, or d by 2 of a runner. This is the torque which is being generated on this runner. Agreed or not? So this much torque is generated. More the torque, more will be your electricity. Done? So I hope it is very clear for you. Like this, your shaft is rotating and producing electricity. Now let me make it very clear. What is the head of water which actually is there in this diagram? Let us try to understand. So the water which is actually participating for this energy production is this level. Okay, यहाँ पे तो नीचे tail race level है. This water is useless for us. Okay, this is not contributing anything. Only this, whatever is there, the gross head is nothing but the difference of your head race level minus tail race level. Okay, ये जो पानी है, that is actually the head which is contributing for our energy production. Clear है? What is gross head? You know that the difference between head race level and tail race level. Now use your common sense. This entire head is not seen here. Why? Because we have a pipe. Pipe में क्या रहता है? Head loss रहता है. Agreed or not? In fluid mechanics also we have studied in pipe chapter that there will be a head loss in pipe, right? So obviously what you have to reduce is from this gross head. Let us say Hg is your gross head. If you are removing the head loss in this pipe or penstock, then you will be getting the net head, which is actually responsible for electric generation. Concept is clear for you? याद रखोगे? Okay, so here only let me tell you what is the application of surge tank also. फ्यूचर में प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए ना, सो यू शुड बी एबल टू आंसर. व्हाट इज दिस सर्ज टैंक? अरे यार कुछ भी नहीं है. द वाटर लेवल इन रिजर्वायर कुड फ्लक्चुएट, राइट? सो वाटर विच इज कमिंग, it could fluctuate. To avoid these fluctuations, we basically have a surge tank. The main purpose of the surge tank is to avoid the fluctuations in water flow which is going and hitting this turbine. I hope it is very clear for you, right? कोई problem नहीं है. So before going into this next topic, which is impact of jets, you should understand why you have to study impact of jets. See, the electricity production is directly proportional to the force with which the water is hitting the vanes. Agreed or not? अगर ज़्यादा force से आता है, then ज़्यादा electricity produce हो गया. So to understand how much power is being generated, you should know with what force the water is coming out of your nozzle. Agreed or not? So to study what is the force which is actually coming from your nozzle, you should understand what is impact of jets. In the next chapter, impact of jets जो हम पढ़ाई करेंगे in the very next module. So in that we will study what is the force with which water comes and is hitting these buckets or vanes. Okay, and indirectly you can understand what is the torque being produced and how much electricity you can ultimately get. So see you in the next module. I hope you have enjoyed this module. If you like this, you know what to do. Like this video, share this with your with your friends, and see you in the next module.